This next workshop is called the Make Me a Mixtape Zine workshop, and I'm gonna enlist a couple of Zine Camp counselors to help me pass some things out. You'll get 3 things. You're gonna get a mixtape zine making template. You're gonna get this little zine with instructions, and then also we have some of these little mixtape boxes, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with these. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those passed out and then jump back on the megaphone and tell you a little bit what we're gonna do. As those of you who grew up in the cassette tape era know, mixtapes were a way that folks made music mixes for themselves, for others to communicate, to express things as love letters, as be my friend sort of gifts. You know, as technology moved on, lots of folks started to make mix CDs. And now, pretty much digital playlists, right? But this concept of the mixtape, the musical mix, just is something that continues to loom large in the minds of people that are music obsessed like me. These are courtesy, these mixtapes as examples are courtesy of Liz and Joe Mason, mixtape makers extraordinaire. And we have, I love this one because it's a mix for their wedding 20-something plus years ago, and you can see handmade cover. There's some mixtapes here that have handwritten tracks. This is cat tracks, all sorts of songs about kitty cats, Carol of the Cats, a song called Meow. If you know Liz, you know Liz was involved in making this mixtape.
I was not, actually.
Oh, that was a mixtape for Liz then. Awesome. You can see this one has a beautiful handwritten track listing and some really cool paper. So the presentation of the mix was as important as the music itself a lot of times. And as I said, Liz and I have talked a lot about recently the idea of a mixtape being shared to connect with someone else. Like, hey, I love this stuff, I think you might love this stuff too, or hey, I really love this stuff, this shows you a little bit about who I am. And you know, you might know the person you make a mix for, you might have never met them before, but I've heard so many great stories while putting together this workshop of people who have kept or remember mixes somebody gave them 5, 10, 20, 40 years ago. So I thought about putting together a workshop focused around that concept of the mixtape. So I'm going to swap these out. And so the first thing I'm going to show you is this is the little mixtape zine, sort of folded a little bit like the insert of a mixtape, and a little bit about what type of zine we're making and what we're going to be looking at. The other cool thing that we're finding with mixtapes and any kind of mixes is they can sort of serve as a time capsule as well. Like, oh, 5 years ago when I made this mix, or 20 years ago, this was where my brain was. This was what my favorite summer songs. This was my favorite songs when I was in grade school. These were the songs that my friends and I listened to on late night drives around the city. So we're going to take that concept and make a zine out of it. Because zines and mixtapes sort of share that DIY creative sensibility. So the idea behind this is sort of looking at a themed mixtape, but in words, in drawings and comics, however you want to express it. So the first step is going to be to grab your mixtape zine template, which is right here. And the way you're going to fold it is so that it sort of looks like the instructions here. Fold it in half again, and then sort of accordion fold it. And what this basically is going to end up looking like is the insert to a mixtape. I'll show you an example from an actual mixtape. You can see this one sort of got folded in with the mix. And as I mentioned, the track listing, which is often handwritten, was just as important in a lot of cases as the music itself. So once you've got that template folded, or if you want to do this again at home and you don't have the template handy, you can just make a one-page mini zine, because that's sort of about the same size too. And then you're going to want to think of a theme for your mixtape. You know, like I said, maybe it's songs you want a friend to listen to, songs that make you think of your crush, your favorite summertime mix. What are some other great mixtaping? Food, yes. The songs about a place. The music we've been listening to here is all.
Drive the customers crazy at a bookstore where you were?
Yes. That's one of my favorite mixes, especially at closing time. The playlist we've been listening to here today is all songs by or about Chicago artists. It's a mix we made for the launch of the Southside Zine Library last month, so it's already a little bit nostalgic for me. So think of a theme, and then you want to think of a handful of songs that fit that theme. And what you're going to do on your template is write, draw, illustrate something about why you want each of these songs to be on this particular mix. Think of a fun title for your mix that you can write across the, it'll be blank on the template, the blank label of the cassette on the top of the mix, tape template. And, or you could take a blank piece of paper, fold it this way, and design your own cover, or if you're making a mini zine, just design a cover. And come up with, it could be anything you want to express, why you chose this song, each song on the mix, what it represents to you, a drawing. Maybe you just like some lyrics from the song. Maybe it makes you want to grab a crayon and scribble. I feel like a lot of acid jazz makes me feel that way. And when you're done, you're going to have basically a little mini zine that's all about these songs that capture something for you. A couple of optional steps. If you feel moved to make an actual mix at some point on cassette, on CD, and Spotify, Apple Music, somebody mentioned the idea of making this zine and then putting a QR code to the digital playlist. I love that. Or make some actual physical media. And the other fun thing to do is make some photocopies. And we do have a photocopier available if you're like, hey, I want to make some photocopies on the spot to leave for the trade swap table or for the Southside Zine Library. And I really encourage you to do that because mixtapes and zines also both share this idea that they're great to give to other people as a little bit of an expression of yourself, where you're at in this moment, or just like mixtapes, hey, here's some songs you should listen to and here's why. The last thing I'm going to show you is you might be wondering what the box is for, these little foldable mix boxes. And I thought this just might be a cool thing for y'all to keep your mixtape zines in. Maybe you make a collection of them. I know a lot of us don't have cassette holder in their homes anymore, those big wall units that we all used to put our tapes on. But you can keep your zine instructions in here. You can keep your mixtape zines. Also, you could just put candy in it, whatever you want. And I also thought it might be a good kind of graphic example of kind of what a mixtape looks like too. So with that, does anybody have any questions? Awesome. Well, I'm going to leave y'all to making your mixtape zines. I'm going to put some music on and I'll check back in about maybe 35, 40 minutes if anybody would like to share the zine they're working on. Thanks so much.